Do you hate surprises? Then you're going to enjoy this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. Hallmark used to have a commercial where a family is attempting to give their 100-year-old grandmother a surprise birthday party. When the grandson fails to convince his grandmother to come over to his house where everybody's gathered, he finally has to tell her about the party. On the trip, she tells him, "Don't worry, I'll still act surprised." I suppose it would be difficult to surprise someone who reaches the century mark. They've seen it all. The Bible warns believers not to be surprised by the world's reaction to our faith. In 1 Peter 4, verses 12 through 13, Peter writes, "Beloved, do not be surprised at the fiery trial when it comes upon you to test you, as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice insofar as you share Christ's sufferings, that you may also rejoice and be glad when his glory is revealed." In the verse just prior to this, verse 11, Peter reminds those reading his letter that everything that they do in their life, everything, should glorify Christ. Peter is writing his letter primarily to new believers, many of whom did not come out of a Jewish background. They didn't have the understanding of the Old Testament scriptures that those from a Jewish background would have. They weren't familiar with the kind of persecution that believers had faced all through the centuries. Peter warns them not to be surprised. He remembers Jesus' words that if they persecuted Jesus, they're going to persecute the disciples. They're going to persecute them as well. When you know something's about to happen, you can prepare for it. In junior high, for reasons understandable only to someone in the 7th grade, we used to run through the halls pushing each other down. After a while, though, it didn't work. Everyone knew it was coming. We went down the hall like NFL running backs. When you're expecting the blow, it makes it much harder to trip you up. Peter warns young believers to be ready. The world would try to trip them, whether through temptation or persecution. We should prepare ourselves. Don't be surprised if the world opposes your faith. If we're ready, through God's grace, we can withstand anything the world can throw at us. Peter goes further than simply cautioning believers to be prepared. We can rejoice even in difficulty, knowing that God can bring redemptive results even from our trials. Don't misunderstand what he's saying here in verse 13. It's not that the trials we face are desirable or easy. We face hard choices as believers. We face difficult trials. However, in God's power, even the difficult times in life can have redemptive results. The word Peter uses that's translated here as a fiery trial is the same word that's used to describe the purification of metal. When melted, the impurities in a metal float to the top, where they're easily removed. In the same way, the difficulties that are brought on by our faith make us stronger. Even in the midst of the worst this world can throw at us, we can know that God is still at work. Rather than being shocked at the world's reaction to our faith, we can have hope that God is working, that he is refining us, purifying us, making us stronger, and providing further opportunities for us to glorify him by spreading his message. Facing challenges because of our faith is not easy, but it should not surprise us. We can be confident that God is not only in control, he is at work in us. You can be confident, even in the midst of trial. And now, you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.